I got Boots. Yeah, I got Boots. I think he's too skillful. IQ level, how quick he is. I think his level's above.
It's hard to really go against Boots because on that one was specifically Xander. You know, I feel Xander's still young. You know, Boots is a lot older and has a lot more experience.
Is this a fight that you dare to say is a 50-50 fight?
Yeah, it gives a 50-50 fight. I give it more, it's 50-50 in a sense, but because of the experience, you can go 60-40, 60 with Boots, 40 with Xander, but it kind of is a 50-50 fight. Yes.
Boots has just looked more special athletically to me than Xander throughout their careers, right? On the other hand, when you said Xander got better, Xander was so precocious. He was such a young fighter when we first saw him. And you don't have your man bones yet as a boxer. Now he's into his 20s, maybe a different fighter.
As excitement continues to grow for the upcoming clash between Jaron Ennis and Xander Zayas, boxing experts are making confident predictions about how the fight could play out. Ennis enters the matchup with proven experience, explosive punching power, and a reputation for finishing fights, while Zayas brings youthful energy, sharp technical skills, and the confidence of a fast-rising contender. With one fighter looking to strengthen his place among the elite and the other aiming to prove he belongs at the top, this matchup promises an exciting battle between two talented fighters from different generations.
Jaron Ennis, it looks like we're going to be getting a fight with Jaron Ennis and Zayas. A great fight. How do those two match up together? We see Jaron Ennis really getting a crack at a guy who is as gifted as he is almost skill-wise, who has the determination and the will that you just talked about.
The winner of that fight should dominate the junior middleweight division for a little while, because those are the top two guys of the division. They're meeting at a great time, and whoever wins this fight should be the supreme 154 pounds.
Terence Crawford believes a fight between Jaron Ennis and Xander Zayas would be highly entertaining, but he feels the matchup is coming a little too early for Zayas. While praising the young prospect's talent and potential, Crawford believes Ennis has a clear edge because of his experience against top-level competition and his proven ability at the elite level. In Crawford's view, Zayas still needs more time to grow and gain valuable experience before taking on a dangerous opponent like Ennis.
Boots Ennis, Xander Zayas announced this morning as well. Thoughts on that?
Man, that's a tough fight, you know, especially for Xander at this point in his career, but it shows his heart and his confidence, you know, that he have in himself, and he's ready to go make history for his country, and he's going to do real well in that fight. You know, I just think, you know, right now, you know, it's a little bit too early for him.
Former world champion Abner Mares shares the same opinion as Terence Crawford, saying Xander Zayas may be stepping into this challenge too early. Mares acknowledged Zayas' impressive talent and bright future, but believes he is still gaining the experience needed to compete at the highest level. According to Mares, facing a proven fighter like Jaron Ennis at this stage of his career could be a move that comes before Zayas is fully ready.
Likely possibly happening, Xander versus Boots. How do you see that fight going? Do you think maybe Xander's a little bit too young there?
Too soon.
Too soon. You think it's too soon?
Brother. Yeah, I love Sanders, and if he waits and if he's smart and his team is smart, they'll hold on at least 2 more fights, and then, you know, release him to the wolves. And that's, I'm just speaking realistic in how I see it, because I wouldn't want him to lose a really hard fight and him just declining. You get me? And it happens. We've seen it with fighters where it's too soon of a fight. I mean, let's not go far. I mean, I hate to use him as an example, but when Vargas fought Trinidad, it was too soon, brother. And, you know, you gotta be patient with your fighters, and I think they have to be patient with Xander Zayas. Not that I'm saying that he can't win. Maybe he can, but maybe he's gonna get hit too much or injured himself. You get me? So wait a little bit for example.
On the other hand, legendary former champion Roy Jones Jr. has expressed strong confidence in Xander Zayas, describing him as a well-rounded fighter with excellent boxing skills, high ring IQ, and impressive maturity for his age. Jones believes Zayas has developed into a complete boxer with the talent and mindset needed to compete against the sport's best, adding even more belief that the young contender has what it takes to perform at the highest level.
A young guy like Xander, naturally it sounds like Xander may be an underdog in this matchup. What do you think that Xander presents to Boots that, one, he hasn't seen before, and that, two, he'll have to adjust to be successful?
Height, discipline, and Xander's actually a good puncher, and he also knows how to work to the body. So Xander is a complete fighter. I don't know how many complete fighters Boots really has faced, but unlike the guy he fought from overseas who was a decent fighter but he wasn't complete, Xander's complete.
Tim Bradley believes Jaron Boots Ennis could stop Xander Zayas late in the fight, predicting a knockout between rounds 9 and 11. Bradley says Zayas has shown signs of slowing down in the later rounds, particularly around rounds 8 and 9, because the large amount of weight he cuts before each fight affects his legs and reduces his stamina. He believes Ennis could take advantage of that late fight fatigue and finish the job.
He could stop Xander. He could. I've been reading a lot of comments and stuff, and people saying that, 9, 10. I've been also seeing, 11. Shit. Look, I just got done studying some Xander Zayas, man. Late in the fight, he begins to fade. Round 8, 9, he starts to fade. Yeah. He starts to fade because all that weight he put on. He put on so much weight in between fights. Boots, his ass put on weight too. I'm like, God, this dude is big. He look like he about 175. And he come all the way down to 54. Shit, that shit drains him. That drains him. And it pulls from his legs. And in the later rounds, he started to get fatigued.
Looking back at Xander Zayas' most recent fight, Tim Bradley believes that although Zayas kept steady pressure on his opponent, he didn't show the advanced tactics, movement, or adjustments needed to deal with someone as aggressive and versatile as Jaron Boots Ennis. Bradley feels that without a more complete game plan, Zayas could struggle to handle Ennis' relentless pressure and high-level skill.
Even noticed that in the last fight. He tried to keep it together with good technique, but shit, he can't hide that shit from me. You can't hide that from me, man. Went back, watched the film, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is standardized type of pressure that this dude been putting on him all night. It ain't no special effects. He ain't cutting the angles and looking to cut him off. Occasionally he will follow his ass once he, if he goes Xander pulls out left, he'll try to, meet him with a left hook or meet him with a right hand. But, it wasn't nothing that was like crazy. With head movement, the shit that Boots gonna be doing, all that head moving and sliding, tucking and moving on angles and shit. Boots, that's what Boots gonna attack his ass late. And Boots got power. He got major power.
Former world champion Shawn Porter believes a fight between Jaron Ennis and Xander Zayas would be a very competitive matchup, giving both fighters plenty of credit for their abilities. Porter says Ennis' experience, relentless pressure, and proven success against top opponents make him a serious threat, but he also praises Zayas for his boxing skills, athletic ability, and youthful energy. In Porter's view, both fighters bring unique strengths to the ring, making it a matchup that has all the ingredients for an exciting battle.
I feel like you yourself, like I said, great boxing mind. I was wondering if I could pick your brain with a particular matchup that was announced yesterday. Okay. You sparred with both of these gentlemen. It's Boots and Zayas.
Oh, yes.
From what I understand, Zayas a little younger into his career. Boots, I believe sometime last year, we were able to get some work with him. And you said it's a little closer than what some people are saying. So how do you view that in particular?
Sure, man. You got two soldiers. We always identify ourselves as warriors, so you guys know that we're warriors, right? But I think a lot of times, a lot of fans, they forget that there's two warriors, and they get so caught up in what one warrior has, and they completely forget that even though this guy's got something, listen, this guy standing across from you, like I was saying on the Borderway podcast, we understand that this guy is dangerous. And until we put that guy in the right position, we can't just...
Although Shawn Porter slightly favors Jaron Ennis to come out on top, he believes the fight is far from a guaranteed win for either man. Porter expects a hard-fought and highly competitive battle, pointing out that both Ennis and Xander Zayas have the talent and ability to win. In his view, while Ennis may have a slight edge, Zayas has the skills to make it a close contest and could still pull off the victory.
And I truly do think that Xander has a lot, not just some. He has a lot of attributes that are going to offset what Boots has been known for, what Boots has been able to do. And I think it's going to be a pretty good competitive fight. I do think that Boots is a bit much for the younger Xander, but Xander's had a lot of really good experiences that's made him worthy for this moment. I think right off the top, I would say Boots wins this fight, but it's not an easy fight. And should Boots not just simply sit down at the dinner table and have his way, don't be surprised. And I think that's another part of the game that gets lost. You got to promote both sides. Right. It's always A side, B side. And I get that. I understand that. But you got to promote the B side. Yeah. Because what happens when the B side is doing something that you don't expect? Right. All of a sudden, A side isn't doing what he's supposed to be doing, or he's not who he is. No, it's that the B side's more. but you got to promote it that way so that people expect more, you know. So I think along the way, that's going to be my narrative. Is hey, both these guys are really.
Hall of Fame legend Winky Wright believes that true greatness is earned by defeating the best fighters, and he sees a matchup between Xander Zayas and Jaron Ennis as the perfect opportunity to prove it. Wright says this is the type of fight that can define a career, giving both men the chance to test themselves against elite competition. He believes the winner would not only earn a major victory, but also take a significant step toward building a lasting legacy in the sport.
Looks like Xander and Boots are going to fight. What are your thoughts on that fight?
It's going to be a good fight, man. The division looking good right now, you know, and I just want to see all the fighters fight each other, man. The best need to fight the best. That's what's going to bring the fans to boxing. And, you know, you can only be great by beating somebody great. You know what I'm saying? You can have a bunch of wins with no great win. You're just a good fighter, but you want to be great, you need to beat another great fighter. So they got the opportunity, and I hope
Richard Torres Jr. says he has a lot of respect for Xander Zayas and is a big supporter of his talent. He believes Zayas has the boxing ability, determination, and toughness to give Jaron Boots Ennis a very difficult fight. In Torres' view, Zayas has the tools to challenge Ennis and make the matchup far more competitive than many people expect.
Question more for you. What do you think about Boots versus Xander? How do you pick that out?
Man, you know, it's two insanely talented fighters. I myself am a Xander fan. I'm through and through since day one. I've known him since the amateurs. I'm gonna rock with Xander. He's my guy. I won't ever go against him, man. So Xander's my guy, and I'm gonna keep with him. But Boots is such a talented fighter. I'm a fan of his as well, and I'm excited for that. I just saw he posted today that he signed the contract. So let's see how.
Rising prospect Brooke Mullen made a confident prediction in favor of Jaron Boots Ennis, believing he has what it takes to control the fight from start to finish. She feels Ennis' combination of elite experience, explosive power, and proven ability at the highest level could be too much for Xander Zayas to handle, making Ennis the clear favorite in the matchup.
Ennis, June 27th, Xander Zayas. I know we thought Virgil. I know we talked about that. I know we thought Virgil, but nice pivot.
Yeah.
What you thinking?
Well, he's gonna punish him. He's gonna punish him. He's gonna take him to school, and he's gonna punish him. He's gonna box his head off. Circle.
Damn, bro. Like that?
Like that. Taking him to school, literally.
What do you? How does those fights differ? The Boots Virgil, the Boots Xander. Like, what's the differences in approach?
Well, I think that Xander's is bigger naturally, ain't he?
Yeah, he's a little bit bigger.
Yeah, but I think that I think Virgil's a little smarter defensively. I think Xander's more of a rough and tough type of kid, and he hasn't really been too experienced and in there with guys of the caliber of Boots at all. So I think that he's just gonna be so outmatched.
Brooke Mullen went a step further with her prediction, saying Jaron Boots Ennis could end the fight as early as the third round. She believes Ennis' explosive punching power, exceptional speed, and greater experience give him a major advantage, making him capable of overwhelming Xander Zayas long before the fight reaches the later rounds.
He's not gonna know what to do.
Where's the stoppage? Early, middle, late?
Boots had last time. I should have bet on that first round knockout, man.
Yeah, that was out. I thought it would go some rounds.
I know my friend was like, what should I bet on? I don't know. I was like, damn, I should have guessed the first. I'm gonna say the third or fourth.
Yeah? Okay.
Let's come back to this.
Okay.
Let's see how
Paulie Malignaggi believes Xander Zayas has far more at stake in a fight against Jaron Boots Ennis, arguing that the pressure is greater on the young contender. He sees Zayas as one of boxing's brightest rising stars and believes a loss at this stage could slow his momentum and affect his climb toward the top. According to Malignaggi, while Ennis is already established among the elite, Zayas has more to prove and more to lose if the fight doesn't go his way.
I think Xander has more to lose here, you know? Not that Ennis doesn't have a lot to lose, but, you know, in a fight of this magnitude, there's a lot to lose for both guys and there's a lot to gain for both guys, but I think Xander has more to lose and but also more to gain.
I agree on everything you said except for the fact that the point that Xander has more to lose, because he's already been a 2-time champion at 54, unified WBA, WBO, and what was the other one? And the WBA. But if he loses, I think he just moves up to 160, and 160 is a wide open division, and I think he can do a lot of really good there. Listen, a loss is never a good thing. It's risky for both fighters, but guess what? This is boxing. The guys taking risks when they're young.
Tim Bradley believes Xander Zayas has several defensive weaknesses that could be costly against a fighter like Jaron "Boots" Ennis. He points out that Zayas often lets his hands drop and leaves the left side of his body exposed, creating openings that a skilled and aggressive opponent could quickly take advantage of. Bradley says these are not small technical errors, but serious flaws that could become the difference in a high-level fight. He also compares their styles, explaining that Zayas prefers to box as a counterpuncher, using timing, distance, and precision to score his shots, while Ennis fights with non-stop forward pressure, forcing opponents onto the defensive and capitalizing on every mistake. According to Bradley, that relentless style makes Ennis especially dangerous for fighters who have trouble handling constant aggression.
And there's spots where I see Xander, he just gets himself in some bad spots, man. He drops his hands a lot. I see too much exposure on that left side. Way too much exposure on that left side. He gonna have to keep that left hand glued to his face, because that overhand right of Boots is lethal. It's lethal, man. And Boots turned that uppercut up the middle too, especially from the southpaw stance when Xander's leaning forward, man. Another lethal shot. But man, I see a lot of holes in Xander's game, especially when you start to put that pressure on him. Yeah. He try to get the fuck out of Dodge. He don't want none of that heat. Nah, he don't like the heat like that. He like his space. His system requires distance. Can he fight a little bit inside? A little bit inside. It's not his specialty. Nah, he want to be able to work the combinations as you throwing shots. He looking for shots to be able to counter in between with shit, or he looking to start the action, boom, weave underneath shots, counter, boom, boom, and then he on to the next. He around that corner, right? He turned the corner.
Despite being viewed as the underdog, respected boxing journalist Mike Coppinger believes Xander Zayas is making a smart career move by agreeing to fight Jaron "Boots" Ennis. Coppinger says that stepping into the ring with a proven star like Ennis raises Zayas' profile and strengthens his value in the boxing world, even if he isn't the favorite to win. He believes taking on one of the division's toughest opponents shows confidence and ambition, which can lead to bigger opportunities, greater financial rewards, and increased respect from fans, promoters, and the boxing community. Rather than choosing easier fights, Coppinger feels Zayas is proving he's ready to challenge himself against the very best.
Incredible athlete, he has a great jab, he can box, he's in good fights, he has power. But Xander Zayas at 23 is definitely an improving fighter, and like you said, Gabe, he's an economic engine, right? He could be fighting in Puerto Rico, he just sold out in January, he could fight in New York, he's gonna probably have the bigger fan support here. And I think this is a great business move for Xander too. He's gonna get a career high payday, and like you said, 190 he walks around at. He hasn't had much more time at 154.
Yeah. And also I'm thinking about is if you really watch Boots does look special all the time. But there's cases where he gets hit a lot. And you're like, man, for you to be so good and so special, why are you getting hit from some of these lower class fighters? So Xander might have seen that. So you know what? Yeah, I know Boots is special. I know he's really, really good, etc. But I see things in his game where I can.
When asked what Xander Zayas brings to the matchup, Jaron "Boots" Ennis coach praised the young contender's youth, determination, and strong desire to prove himself. He said Zayas is a hungry fighter with plenty of motivation, especially because he'll be competing in New York, making him a dangerous opponent despite having less experience. The coach also pointed out that this fight marks Boots' second title defense as a unified champion in a second weight division, making it another important milestone in his career. Having worked with Ennis since his amateur days, the coach believes this is exactly the kind of challenge Boots has always wanted. A high-level, meaningful fight against a talented and motivated opponent looking to make a name for himself.
As the Xander fight goes, what does Xander bring to the table that can make this difficult?
I mean, he's young. And he got something to prove. So that's what I think. That he brings to the table. He's young and he got something to prove. In New York. I think he's from New York. So I think he's gonna have something to prove.
Bernie, the boxer, believes the fight between Jaron "Boots" Ennis and Xander Zayas could be a major turning point in Boots' career. He says a convincing win would strengthen Ennis' position among the sports elite and help him secure even bigger fights and championship opportunities. Bernie explained that a matchup with Vergil Ortiz had been discussed but never came together, leaving Ennis without the marquee fight many fans wanted. He sees Zayas as an excellent alternative, describing him as a talented and respected opponent who offers both a meaningful challenge and a chance to raise Ennis' profile. According to Bernie, a victory over Zayas would further establish Boots as one of boxing's top fighters and could lead to even bigger, more rewarding fights in the future.
And
he wants to. We ain't gonna put.
Anything happens though. Anything can happen.
No, I think that's gonna be all right. You know, if Top Rank, I don't know how serious the negotiations is, but I think definitely want to put Boots in with a champion. You know, being that Vergil Ortiz, the fight didn't materialize. It was a hot fight. Wasn't for the championship. Again, I said that, you know, Boots being a champion, a unified champion, a lineal champion, he's going to want a title belt around his waist, which most fighters do. You know, it brings more money, it brings more prestige, and it brings a little bit more swag to the fighter. So belts do matter, and I feel like Boots wants to have a championship around his waist, and I think it's warranted. You know, it boosts his ego and who he is and who.
According to reports, Vergil Ortiz Jr. said his team offered Xander Zayas a 50-50 purse split for a fight scheduled for December, presenting it as an equal financial deal for a major showdown. Zayas quickly responded on social media, arguing that it wasn't a legitimate offer because it did not include key details such as the official fight date, the exact purse, or the venue. He insisted that a real offer must clearly outline those terms. Zayas also stated that he wanted the fight to take place in Puerto Rico rather than California or Nevada, saying that if Ortiz genuinely wanted the matchup, he should be willing to face him on his home ground.
Vergil Ortiz Jr. shares emails of a 50-50 fight offer to Xander Zayas. Obviously, Xander Zayas is scheduled to face Jaron Boots Ennis coming up in a few months. Vergil Ortiz is still in a heated battle with his promotional company, Oscar Boy Promotions, along with his manager and their pending legal issues is months and months away, but Vergil is still putting himself out there in terms of staying in the news minute. I think it's really smart. So undefeated welterweight, super welterweight, Vergil Ortiz Jr., 24-0 with 22 knockouts, posted November 2025 email from Golden Boy Promotions proposing a neutral site bout in Nevada or California with even pay-per-view revenue shares from DAZN. Here, we're going to take a look at that here. This shows the real offer, apparently, what Vergil Ortiz is saying. Stop lying to your fans. The answer is yes. Come meet me in Puerto Rico. Oh, I'm sorry. That was from Xander. Xander said, this is not a real offer. Stop lying to the fans. The answer is yes. Come meet me in Puerto Rico. So I remember this going on a few months back. Vergil's putting this back out there. I think it's, just to stay relevant right now because the poor kid is not going to be able to fight for at least a little while. But what's your take on Vergil throwing this out here now at this point, pending this big Xander Zayas and Boots Ennis showdown? Any of you guys? What are you thinking there, Breadman? What do you got? I see you smiling.
I think it was smart to stay relevant. Everybody started buzzing when they heard that Boots and Xander was going to fight. Vergil knows he's going to be on the sidelines. That's his division. So, he puts it out there, that he was in negotiations with both of them. It's just a tactic. You know how it goes. They go back and forth. I wanted to fight Boots. I wanted to fight this guy. You know how it is. I actually feel bad for Vergil, man, because the guy is very accomplished, and to have been through 3 divisions, been a pro this long, have 24 fights, and still haven't had a title shot. I know because the other guys are going to constantly throw that up in his face, like, you keep running your mouth, but you haven't had a title shot. And he's good enough to be a world champion. So I think that kind of sucks. So he's probably getting a little anxious.
Bernie believes Jaron Boots Ennis has a strong chance of winning by knockout, but he also warns against overlooking Xander Zayas. He says Zayas is a highly skilled, intelligent boxer with the talent to make this a very difficult fight. Bernie stresses that both fighters should be judged fairly without exaggerating or dismissing their abilities. He even compares Zayas' technical skills and ring IQ to respected fighters like Karen, pointing out that he has the tools to compete at a high level. In Bernie's view, this matchup is a true test for both men and has all the ingredients to be a closely contested battle that will showcase their skill, strategy, and toughness.
Steve Main, thank you for the 2-piece. I got Boots by knockout.
9 or 10. Xander not it. What's your thoughts? You think a knockout would happen?
I don't know. Xander can box. Xander is a big guy. He didn't field out for the weight. You know what I'm saying? He's put on a little bit more muscle. You know, I don't know. I think he
can hold his own.
It's not. Yeah, definitely. And I think I don't want to underrate. I don't want to overrate Karen, and I don't want to underrate him. You know, but I think if a guy like Karen can actually do even better, he did better even in the second fight. You know, so I don't. You know, I think Xander probably right there with him. So I would give it a good chance. I don't know, but I think it's an interesting fight because, I think Boots is the heir apparent. Everybody is waiting on Boots to outshine the pack, you know. So, fighting for those 2 titles, you know, against a guy like Xander. He still got a lot to prove, but that goes right in the right direction. You know, that opens him up for the Kelly fight, which he's with over there with those guys.
Who do you think comes out on top? Jaron, Boots Ennis, or Xander Zayas? Will Ennis' power, pressure, and experience be too much? Or can Zayas pull off the upset with his skill and determination? Share your prediction and the reasons behind it in the comments below.